Hi everyone, it's been a little while since I've done an all from one viewer video, and all of these clips are from someone who features regularly on the channel, Smiler Bob. I've literally got a file with all the clips he sent me in June, and this is the first. As soon as he spotted the problem, he was holding back and ready to give way and even reverse. But there was no need, as the driver of the Land Rover was eager to fix the situation nice and quickly. That was a nice start. Bob spots this one early. He's got everything well under control with this one behind. He needs to do a right turn a little bit further up the road and finds himself in a situation where there's a pedestrian wishing to cross at the entrance. Doing things properly can often cause extra problems when you've got a driver like this following behind. Bob slows nice and early. This allows the pedestrian time and controls the danger from behind. But that's a very strange position to take up. Were they thinking about going round on the left hand side? Possibly. And with this in mind, what do you think the driver of this red car is going to do at the first opportunity? It's quite obvious really, isn't it? Do you also think they've not cleaned the back of the car on purpose? Another good spot, combined with a pocket of space. Many people wouldn't have tried to give way in this space, they would have just barreled on in. Nice work by the driver of the Range Rover also, in my opinion.
I know these MGs are really popular. I've not driven one of these latest generation cars, but this one, unfortunately, in this Car Vertical report, has had a fair bit of a bump at the front. But if you were to buy one of these vehicles that had been crashed like this and then repaired properly, you'd be quids in, I think. You wouldn't want to pay top dollar for something that has been crashed, but this is where Car Vertical comes in. If you put the reg or VIN number into the Car Vertical website, you'll be sent a detailed report in no time at all. Some reports like this one show pictures if the car has been damaged, but there are other things that you need to check out: MOT history, number of owners, and more importantly, in this situation, mileage. If we look at the final picture in this group, we can see by the dashboard it's done 12,921 miles when it was crashed. However, in this report, if we scroll down a little bit to the mileage section, the latest mileage reading is 11,844. This may very well have been an inputting error. However, if you were looking at this car to purchase, you would know the mileage that it's done today. So this extra information on the Car Vertical website can help you make the correct choice. Checking out the car before you even go for the test drive is an important part of the process, in my opinion. And remember, there's no better place to do it than Car Vertical. If you use my code Ashley, or the links in the description, you can also save yourself 20%. It's that easy. Thanks, Car Vertical.
This one's quite an awkward situation. Have a look at the exit Bob's trying to take. It's blocked. But there is a space just in between junctions 1 and 2. Now the ability to read and tell a story comes into play. You've got to be quite positive in this situation when it's your time to go, and it worked well. The flow onto the roundabout from behind wasn't interrupted, and the driver of the Blue 1 Series knew exactly when they should be moving. But we've not finished with this clip yet. Look at the bus, it's parked up ahead. Bob sussed out that the bus driver wishes to move off. And personally, I thought the driver of the blue BMW was going to try and signal left and pull in also. That was all nicely handled. On the third clip we had a driver of a Mercedes doing a right turn from the middle lane on this same roundabout, and I think this is probably Bob's Gandalf corner. Doesn't have to be a Mercedes doing the right turns from that lane though, but if you see it all the time, you can expect it easily. Bob shows the correct distance to overtake the cyclist, and the cyclist shows you why you need to sometimes. Lethal. The driver of the Nissan behind has already got a dented bonnet, but they try and pretend to be a caravan to Bob's car. And it's at a number of these same situations where there's a yellow box and Bob can't necessarily clear the junction. Like I said before with the Mercedes at the roundabout turning right from the wrong lane, if you've seen it once, expect it again. Very nice control from Bob here, and very poor driving again from the driver of the Nissan. It's hard because people driving in this manner pressurise you, but situations like this require more planning. Please take note of the space that Bob has left himself in front at all times. When someone else pulls out in front of you as you're going round the roundabout, if you hold back, you'll actually allow them to clear a little quicker. And this is a great example of that. This exit was only going to become clear when the lorry had finished. Why rush there? This is quite unusual. The driver of the black car should have cleared, and this should be accommodated from all the drivers from Bob's direction. And now Bob's been put in an awkward situation. I actually think he did the correct thing to clear at this moment. But you have to be really careful, because the driver of the black car could have been thinking the same. Have a look at the unusual traffic light sequence from the temporary lights. I don't think that one's in the highway code. In any case, it looks to have corrected itself. But the driver of the red car looks to be having a WhatsApp wait. And now the traffic lights have again got a mind of their own. Yay! Don't hang about, it might not last long. Don't forget, no one else has gone from any of the other directions. Another quite awkward situation. The horn use was brilliant. This should also be a reminder of why parking on the right hand side of the road can be awkward, even though they ask you to do it on the driving test. Smiler Bob thought that he should have moved back to the left after overtaking this Volkswagen in lane 1. And I agree. Although dashcams do distort distances and speed, look how much quicker the car behind is catching compared to that Bob is catching the lorry. We all make mistakes, just own them and try and do better the next time it happens. You can clearly see the impatience from the driver behind, both now and in a moment. Bob spots a cyclist a little bit further up, and simply holds back until his view is good enough before he overtakes. How difficult was that? A nice pass using as much room as possible as well. A keep clear, busy traffic mixed with a little impatience. Nice hold back position, Bob, allowing the Vauxhall in front to reverse because they've gone on to keep clear. Watch the second white car to the left hand side. Bob's involvement, or simply holding back, was quite important there. I play this game as well where possible. Can you predict when a vehicle's going to move before they know themselves? Everyone's average reduction in speed is less when you can do this, and that's just a technical way of saying it flows better. Bob's got this one sussed, but just before you're about to move away, have a little look in both side mirrors. Bob used his side mirrors well again in this clip. An interesting clip, that one. Look at the white private hire to the right.
It's one way down that bit, mate. Right.
This clip shows a nice example of when stopping on amber may not be safe. The close proximity of the van also added to that decision. Bob tries to give way to this pedestrian exiting this roundabout, but he quickly reads their intention and changes his mind. Watch the car transporter lorry that comes from the road on the right. That's really poor. It wasn't as if there was multiple lanes from that other direction to choose from. This video was titled "Watch out for those changing priority," and I agree totally, and it wasn't helped by the parked vehicle on the left. Bob nicely spots the lorry that's going to turn left into the road that he's emerging from, and holds back and gives it room. Bob's already spotted the fire engine coming in the opposite direction, again creating space is a help. One of my pet hates though, the motorbike following to cut through the traffic. I'd like to say a massive thanks to everyone who contributes to the channel by sending in clips. But obviously a special thanks today goes to Bob. There's a good variety in what we've seen today, and a good driving standard, and it's always important to own your own mistakes. And even in this one, you were a little disappointed, I think, that you missed the pedestrian. Keep safe everyone, I'll see you soon.